Hey, third grade. We just did cause and effect, and now it's time to do some compare and contrast. Today, you guys are going to be using a chart to compare two texts that we've read so far, Fair Weather Clouds and Earth's Weather and Climate. Now, it's up to you guys to think of a category for your compare and contrast chart. Think about something that you would like to know about both texts and how it might be similar and how it might be different. So one thing I'm really curious about these two texts is how do these texts talk about weather? I know they're both about weather, but they both talk about weather in different ways. So I'm going to write that for my category. Now, the first thing I need to do is go back to Fair Weather Clouds and see how does Carmen Coriolis talk about weather in her poem. So I'm going to pull up my text and do a quick skim. So you might remember that Carmen Coriolis wrote a poem about fair weather clouds. In this poem, she's not really trying to teach me anything about clouds. I feel like she's trying to help me visualize what the clouds look like with her non-literal language and feel what she feels when she looks at the clouds. So I'm going to write that in my chart. In this poem, the author uses non-literal language to help me visualize about the clouds. I'll just write visualize the clouds. It's really going to help me if I give an example. So when I go back to the text, I know she describes the clouds as piles of cumulus cotton, and that's in line 10. So I'm going to write on line 10, she describes the clouds as cotton. Now, I know that Laura McDonald has kind of a different agenda or a different focus with her text, Earth's Weather and Climate. So let's take a look at that one next. She starts her text off with, what is weather like right now? Weather describes the atmosphere's conditions in a certain place at a given moment in time. So I can tell already that Laura McDonald is using her text to teach me about the weather. So in this text, the author is teaching me about weather and climate. How do I know that that's what she's trying to do? Well, one way I might know is that she includes a lot of text features and graphs. I didn't really see any text features or graphs in our poem, but I know that these text features and graphs are helping me to learn more about Earth's weather and climate. So I'm going to add that. Instead of using poetic language, the author uses text features to help the reader learn about weather. So now it's your turn. Think of another way that you could compare and contrast these two texts. Since they both talk about clouds, maybe you could think about how they both talk about specific types of clouds. You could even think more about how the different authors use different illustrations. So go ahead and just finish this last row, and then when you're done, go ahead and answer the question on your applied slide.